Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, June 13th. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. The purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I do that the best I can by being honest, vulnerable, and accountable, which is why I make the videos. I'm no expert in AA or spirituality or recovery. I'm just trying to live life on life's terms and do it sober. The recipe we follow here is we read the daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. There is a link in the description below if you want to follow along. And I'll just share my take on what I got from the reading as well as some other topic. All right. Okay, so we'll get busy here. So the topic for today is going to be living our amends, and we'll wrap up part 2 of shame. Okay. Everyone loves that topic, right? All right, June 13th. Living our amends. Years of living with an alcoholic is almost sure to make any wife or child neurotic. The entire family is, to some extent, ill. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 122. It is important for me to realize that as an alcoholic, I not only hurt myself, but also those around me. Making amends to my family and to the families of alcoholics still suffering will always be important. Understanding the havoc I've created and trying to repair the destruction will be a lifelong endeavor. The example of my sobriety may give others hope and faith to help themselves. Good stuff. Okay, living our amends. Talk to years of living with me is going to drive everybody crazy, right? I used to think they were the problem. What's wrong with them, But obviously, I'm the problem. And when I think of this, to me, there's 2 ways to make amends. There's make direct amends. So, hey, how can I make this right? And then the other part is by living amends, by not repeating it and trying to get healthier. And that's a part that, it's going to be a grind some days, but it's going to keep plugging away and we're not going to give up. I used to think that I was only harming myself. And if I just shut everybody out, then I only will hurt myself. But by doing that caused harm to people. And I can be pretty blind to the damage that I cause other people. And that's, something I'm still learning. Making these amends. My focus needs to be on keeping my side of the street clean. What have I done to cause harm? Not what they've done. Gotta let that go. My side of the street. Understand the havoc I created and try to repair the destruction. What did I do? Once again, it's my side only, my part only. And what kind of example have I been in my sobriety to give others hope? Not a whole lot, I don't think, lately. But I'm still at it. And maybe that gives some people some hope that they keep plugging away. So, living amends. That's all I got. A pretty short reading today. And I did want to kind of come back to the topic of shame. Last week we kind of just talked about what is it, what are some of the symptoms, how is it caused, some causes. So today I kind of want to just wrap up some other ideas here. So, once again, what is shame? It's a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by our consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Now, either it was wrong or foolish, or just how we were told that this awareness of what we've done can make us feel that way. So there's all kinds of different types of shame, and so I kind of just trimmed it down to what applied to me. There's one called transient shame, a feeling you get when you make a mistake. You kind of do something stupid in a social setting. I don't feel that way so much anymore. They usually pass quickly, don't create a whole lot of problems. Maybe even beneficial if it's like, oh, this is kind of bad etiquette. Okay, maybe it's a little indication I need to correct something. So that's not such a big deal. Now there's a chronic shame where it makes you feel as though you're not good enough. It's always with us, and that's something that just in some areas I just can't shake it. It does impair my functioning and mental health. Sometimes it prevents me from doing things and being around people. This one, humiliation. I can't count the number of times that I was just, for unknown reasons, people just laid into me, just made fun of me, and it didn't make sense to me. It can be one of the most intense forms of shame. Comes about when we're critically embarrassed about something, and it's usually, I think all that shame comes from, originally comes from people. We can feel shamed by being defeated. And I don't know if this really impacts me. If I tried my best, I'm good. But if I didn't, then it's that, I should have known better and that kind of thing. Then there's things like performance shame, being self-conscious about how we perform around people. Sex can be one of those. Feels that you're an inferior person. It can affect all of our relationships. So I think the shame that really gets me the most is when I know I shouldn't have done something. I was supposed to do something and I didn't, or vice versa. And it's just that shit. And if I didn't know better, I don't think twice about it. But if I did, it's enough as perfectionism or really what that is. So how can this impact us if we don't do something about it? Either change the behaviors or change our perception. It makes us feel like we're flawed. There's something wrong with us. Right here. Social withdrawal. Yep. Addictions. Yep. Can cause us to be defensive and shame others in return. I don't think so. I don't really bully others. May cause us to deflate our ego, to hide the belief that we're have less value. Not about physical health problems, depression. Makes us feel empty, lonely, or worn out. Absolutely. Low self-esteem, and it's hard to trust people. You always waiting for it to come, right? Engage in people pleasing, avoid talking to people, some compulsive disorders. Those are some of the ways it can linger on us, right? And I did think it was important to just quickly talk about shame versus guilt, and I'm not sure I buy into this whole thing where it talks about guilt is something you've done, something you did was wrong, and shame is you are wrong, something wrong with you. In some areas, there's something wrong with us, or we are wrong, right? This definition talks about our character of who we are as a person is unacceptable. Okay, now I read that, yeah, that absolutely applies. Something fundamentally wrong with me. It's about a feeling you have when you perceive that you are not something, right? Not good enough. So how can I overcome this? I think ultimately I have to be willing to look and evaluate. And ultimately I got to feel what I got to feel. Embrace that. Embrace the shame. Identify it and feel it. And at some point, we got to show ourselves love and acceptance to work through that. And at some point, I have to learn to love myself unconditionally. I need to be honest with myself and others. I got to really look at what part of my behaviors are not good, not working out. Right? Don't avoid it. Talk to somebody. And allow that suffering to be legitimized. Get some other perspectives on it. I'm sure I'm not the only one to feel that way. And ultimately, if there's behaviors we got to correct and behave those, then if it's a belief system, then we can work on that. So what is it? I think mine really comes down to a lot of it's behavior-based, maybe 50-50, belief system versus behaviors. I think even if my behavior's on point, I'd still find some way to do that. So, I don't like feeling this. This really can put me into a downward spiral. So, anyway, I hope you got something from today's reading. Definitely want to encourage you to just make sure you're keeping your side of the street clean. If there's amends you need to make, either make them directly or just try not to repeat it. The way we live our lives each day should honor the people that we love. And hopefully you're doing that. So, all right, well, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for another video. So until then, peace out.